If you want to attract a beautiful girl as a single guy, how you talk to her in the first 10 seconds is completely different than how you talk to her in the first 10 minutes and how you talk to her 10 hours later. In this video, I'm going to show you the techniques that you can use to increase your attraction score with the girl that you want at every stage, from that first moment you meet her, those first 10 seconds, to that first 10-minute conversation, to the first 10 hours. You're gonna know what to do. There are 7 tips to help you do that in this video. And tip number 7 is really gonna help you if you're getting some harsh rejections right now. But number 7 doesn't work without the previous 6 tips. Tip number 1, increase your passive value. Your passive value refers to the perceived social value people see when you walk into a room. As a man, this can include your height, your style, your face, your bone structure, your muscles, your overall physical appearance. The higher your passive value is, the more margin you have to make mistakes in communication that women will let you slide on. For most guys that's starting out, their style isn't on point, their nonverbals are not on point, and they need to improve that up to a point. Doesn't have to be perfect, but up to a point where the woman will at least allow 2 to 3 small mistakes and let you play the game. So this means before you even start, you should have basic grooming, basic cleanliness, basic style, basic nonverbals that are a little bit dominant as a man. In other words, you look presentable. If you're struggling with that right now, check out the free style guide in the link in the YouTube description. Tip number 2, use non-pedestal openers. Most guys use openers that put her on a pedestal. You're so beautiful, I had to say hello, otherwise I'd regret it for the rest of the day. You're so cute, I had to come over and say hello. You're beautiful. Can I buy you a drink? These openers, all of them put way too much value in a person that you don't know. And you're putting her essentially on a pedestal. You're just assuming right from the get-go that she has more value than you. Instead, I use openers that don't compliment her physical beauty. And I qualify for my own life. For example, hey, you looked interesting and I wanted to find out if you're an interesting person. What is your name? Another simple opener that I use with one of my clients is, so I'm a guy, you're a girl, and I wanted to say hi. What is your name? Now, after 15 years, what I've found is that if you use a non-compliment opener and your passive value is above her unconscious requirement of what she expects in a partner or sexual hookup, when you don't put her on that pedestal, she's gonna give you the next 10 minutes. And this is where tip number 3 comes in, which is qualify for your frame. Every question that I'm asking is trying to get to know her, but I'm also qualifying if she's a fit to my life. Most guys, what do? Oh, you do hiking? Cool. So like when do you do hiking? Like what time do you do hiking? Oh, cool. So like what day do you do hiking? Oh, cool. So did you get hiking? Did you find out about hiking like at a meetup group? Oh, cool. So like maybe I can join and go hiking with you? And I find out he has no interest in hiking whatsoever. We look too hard to relate to her. Instead, every question that I ask or story that I tell is related to my life. Hey, by chance, do you do any type of salsa dancing or sports or Pilates? Those are things I'm into. Hey, do you play board games by chance? Hey, do you prefer coffee or tea? These things I'm asking are part of my life. This shows a level of abundance because I'm not just trying to relate to her to try to get her to do something. I'm seeing if there's a truthful connection between her and me. So at this point in the conversation, you should have reached the social hook point where she has a good impression of you. She's thinking, this guy wasn't needy when he opened. This guy led the conversation with confidence. This guy didn't seem like he just wanted to agree with me so that he could sleep with me. This is good. Now you're moving the interaction along. Now, pro tip here, women know when you just want to sleep with them. And they can tell the guys that are a little bit love bombing most of the time. And it's okay that she knows that, yes, I want to sleep with you. They just don't want a guy who only wants to sleep with them. Wanting to sleep with her is a compliment. I find you beautiful and sexy. Great. But that can't be the only thing. So remember this, women want guys they find cool and attractive to want to sleep with them. They just don't want that to be the only reason.
Oh, really?
Tip number 4 is to manage the time bridge. What is a time bridge? A time bridge is the bridge between your meetings. When you first meet her at the club or first date on an online app, there's gonna be that second meeting where you ask her out on another date. And during that first meeting to the second meeting, you're gonna be apart. You're gonna be texting her. And a lot of guys mess up the time bridging. Now here's the secret. If you make a very good first impression in person, you can write very basic messages and still get the second date. Messaging game is not that important if your game is strong. But if your game is weak or shaky, your messaging game does matter, and that's another topic for another video. But you want to optimize your messaging game so that the time bridges are smooth and it's more likely that she'll come out and meet you. Same concepts apply to messaging. No neediness, no over texting. Show value in your own life while being curious about hers. If you show a strong frame and you lead empathetically and you manage the time bridge well, 90% of the time, she'll go on a date with you. Now, on average, it takes women between 7 to 10 hours to be comfortable sleeping with a guy. Most girls, some girls are faster, but most women. It takes a guy about 1 to 2 hours to be open to hooking up with a girl, but we have a different timeline, okay, and a different mating strategy that's evolved in our brains. Now, over those 7 to 10 hours when she's getting to know you, to be comfortable enough getting intimate, this usually happens between 2 to 3 dates, okay, 3 dates on average. If you are continually displaying value and doing all the tips we talked about, her attraction for you and her feeling of comfort and connection with you will increase. These two factors will increase up to a point where she wants to get physical and she really likes you. Now, in America, I've had a lot of first dates that turn intimate, but in Asia, the girls are a little bit slower. On average, it takes about 2 to 3 dates. If you're in your 20s, hookups happen very quickly in certain countries. And if you're in your 30s and 40s, it's a little bit slower, okay? So it just depends on where you live and what age category you're currently dating at. Tip number 5 I have for you is to game for permission if you're below the sexual marketplace threshold. What that means is sometimes a girl will go on a date with you because she has no better options, or maybe you were her second choice. She's waiting for that hot guy to message her back. So in these situations, you have to show that you're attractive, you're fun, but you're also willing to walk away. Right? So you're gaming her for permission to feel some kind of love for you. And inside those openings of windows of opportunity, you can display parts of your true life, right? Like, hey, I'm a programmer, but I've been trying acting and doing different things. You can insert these and she'll actually listen to you. But without that gaming for permission, without that opening, it'll just go over her head and she won't care. If you're not conventionally attracted, you have to game first for permission. And in those windows of opportunity where her heart is open, she's gonna start slowly falling for you. Some women are just cool. She'll go on a date with you and give you the benefit of the doubt. But a lot of women, if you're not conventionally attractive, will not. They're going to be coming up with reasons to reject you. If you make one mistake, you're out. So another way to deal with this is tip number 6, demonstrate higher value. A lot of guys don't truly understand what demonstrating high value means. They think demonstrating value is bragging or showing off your wealth or wearing a nice watch. Nah. Demonstrating your value means telling your story in a way where people want to get to know you more, and they implicitly get that by associating with you and your story, they will benefit. For example, I'm talking to a date and I'm very quickly tell her, yeah, I used to work at Google, but I also modeled for 2.5 years. But don't judge me, okay? I'm still pretty nerdy. I go to board game nights and I do salsa dancing. So within these 2 sentences, I've implied to her that I'm very technically competent, because to work at Google, you have to be. At the same time, I'm very creative. I do salsa dancing, I modeled. So implicitly, I'm giving her all this social value about me. Naturally, when I say this, people get really curious. Oh, you worked at Google? When? What was it like? Oh, you do modeling? Like, what was that like? So naturally, people want to ask you more questions. Now, some clients are like, Giovanni, I don't have as cool a life as you do, but I think everybody has a cool life. One of my clients, for example, he just learned how to tell his story in a fun way. He said, I'm a nuclear engineer, and people will be like, really? And they have 100 questions, but he doesn't know how to answer them in a fun way. So I taught him to say, I'm a nuclear engineer. I work in a nuclear plant. Don't worry, I'm not gonna Hulk out on you. But the reason I got into it was because as a kid, I saw global warming and climate change, and I really wanted to make the world a better place. So I started studying physics and I just got really good at it. So that story demonstrates value for that guy. Another guy might be a salsa dancer. He's like, I love dancing and my parents are pretty well off, but I always wanted to pursue an art form and I love it so much. You should come to one of our classes. And that's his demonstration of value. No matter where you are, what kind of person you are, there's something about your life that you can tell that demonstrates value to the other person. It's just how you tell it, okay? I believe everybody has an interesting story, but not everyone knows how to tell that story in an interesting way. Over time, as you demonstrate value, people start unconsciously associating you with the guy who's of advancement, as Napoleon Hill would say. And they want to associate with you. They want to go with you to that salsa class. They want to go to board game night because the way you told that story was so cool, they naturally want to see more. And most people have conversations that are boring, just another day at the office, the same conversations over and over again. But if you're standing out from the crowd, you cut through all the noise and people want to be around you. Tip number 7 is to show vulnerability. So I've demonstrated value. They think I'm cool. The biggest mistake you make here now, for most men is they'll keep demonstrating value because, oh, I can see her eyes like starting to dilate. She's starting to be attracted to me. So they'll keep demonstrating value, saying, oh, how cool I am, blah, blah, blah. No, you stop when it's enough.
It's time to stop. It's time to stop, okay?
We have enough attraction. You don't need to keep selling the car if the customer is already ready to buy. If you keep selling after a customer is ready to buy, they're going to think something's wrong with you or the product. At this point, she's already attracted to me. She sees value. I'm not going to show her my human side. I'm like, yeah, you know, as a nerd, it wasn't always easy. I got 95 on a test once and the teacher hit me 5 times. Crazy, right?
What?
That's why most Chinese kids are so studious. You know, I read a lot of books. I'm pretty healthy. I don't drink alcohol. So all of these little things about my life, I'm throwing out at little points in a conversation that gets them to know like what kind of person Gio really is. And these little pieces of me, let them see if there's a truth in our connection and if they can relate to me. I'm looking for hook points of commonality between me and the girl based on the truth of my life and her life. Some girls will love salsa dancing, but they don't like that I don't go out and I don't drink. Other girls will love that I'm very healthy, but they don't like that I have a very strict diet. You share vulnerable parts about yourself and you get other people to build on those commonalities if they can relate. And if they can't relate, that's okay. You don't have to be the exact same copy of every other person. These are just points where they can hook onto and latch onto you to build that truthful connection. Now, as you continue to demonstrate value, to show vulnerability, to have good passive value, you're not putting her on a pedestal. You're not trying to relate to her in a fake way, falling for her frame instead of having your own strong frame. And you manage your dates and time bridges really well with proper and fun, entertaining communication. Over the next 10 hours, she's gonna start falling for you. She's gonna want to sleep with you. She finds you attractive, she finds you fun, she's drawn to you. Now, you have the option of sleeping with her, making her your girlfriend, or keeping it honestly casual based on your own needs as a man. This whole process, a 10-hour process, is reverse engineered from the woman's experience. She needs to feel like there's a storyline. There's a, you know, you read a romance novel, there's a problem, a story, there's a hoop, there's a loop, there's a theme, and eventually there's a climax, right? They want you to go on this journey. And your job is to make it easy for her to go on this journey with you and to choose you. It's always the woman's choice because supply and demand for sex is, you know, women have the supply. So I always thank her the next day. I say, thank you for playing. It's a fun text I send. And I go from there. Now, in the beginning, maybe you'll have 20 conversations with new girls in your life and only 10 will text you back and maybe only 2 will go on a date with you. But as you get better at these 7 tips, maybe you talk to 20 girls and now 18 of them text you back and you get 5 or 6 dates in the next 2 weeks. That's about 2 dates a week. Now you start having an abundant sex life and dating life. Now you have options. Your flake rate goes up, your conversion rate goes up. That means you're no longer trying to get water out of a sinking boat. Now, if you're interested in getting to know every step of this process from over 187 lines and techniques that I personally developed over the last 10 years, you can check them out in my master course, First Date Formula. Inside, you'll find everything from the exact online dating funnel and the messages I send to get first dates and my social circle building blueprint, where you can create a whole social circle full of amazing people, friends, girls you can date and make the best of your prime. You can check out First Date Formula at highintegrityskills.com/40. Enjoy.